So this is the Z Flip 5 and it's been out for nearly a year now and I've had it since launch. And with that being said, the honeymoon phase of this phone is now over. So stay tuned because I'm going to be talking about the long-term review with this phone, the pros and the cons, and if I think you should still go ahead and get it. Let's get right into it. What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here and you love tech, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. Anyways, when it comes to my reviews, I typically start off with the pros first. So first thing I'm going to talk about is the cons of this phone and the things I really didn't like about it. So first things first, I do want to talk about is the fact that this phone gets extremely hot. I really started to notice it whenever I got Android Auto. Whenever this would hook up to my car and then I would use the GPS to work, which is like a 40-minute commute, the battery would die really quickly, and then I would often get notifications on my car saying, hey, your phone's too hot, you gotta cool it down. And so that's kind of what's been happening. So then I gotta blast the AC, put it in front of the AC, and it's a whole thing. So when it comes to the first con, I'm gonna have to say the battery and the fact that this thing does get hot. And with the battery not being the greatest, I find myself having to take a charger everywhere I go, or a portable charger, which is kind of weird because the main reason why I got this phone in the first place is because since it folds, it's gonna save a lot of space in my pocket. But then again, it doesn't save up too much space if I'm taking a portable battery pack or a charger everywhere I go. But besides that, the next thing I noticed when it came to the Flip 5 isn't the crease, but it's the screen itself. Now that it's really sunny outside all the time, I have to put the brightness all the way up, and even when it's at its peak brightness, it's still a little bit hard to see from time to time. It's nothing compared to my Note that I had before this because that thing was really bright. I mean, obviously it has to do with the glass that they actually put in the screen that they use, but it's only when you open it flat like this. Whenever you're using just the cover screen, this looks good, completely fine, especially under the sun. It's whenever you come to this screen right here, whenever you open it up, that you can kind of tell that it's not as bright as some of the other phones out there. So those are the main cons: battery, screen, and it overheating. Not in that order, but that's what I've noticed so far. Now, besides the cons, the next thing I want to talk about is the features that I utilize on a day-to-day basis and what really makes this phone fantastic. And the first thing has to be this cover screen right here. I mean, this is one of the main reasons why you get it, besides the fact that it folds, and I love it. And the reason why I love it is not because I can go through Instagram or TikTok, because when it comes to those apps, whenever I'm going through the feed, I can only see a little bit of a picture or a little bit of an Instagram reel. But it's the fact that when I take photos with this thing, you know, you can see what you're taking pictures of. Like right now, you can obviously see the camera, but whenever I take pictures or I'm creating content or I'm with people taking selfies, this always amazes everybody, and it still amazes me. It is so convenient having this camera preview right here. I honestly don't know how I'm gonna be able to live without it if I do end up switching. And when it comes to the cameras on this phone, they're not really that bad. I've heard some creators say that they don't create content with this, but me personally, all the YouTube shorts I have on my feed, if you want to check them out, are made with this phone because this is my primary phone. This right here is my daily driver. I do use an iPhone for work for the most part, but that's whenever I'm at my job. Whenever I'm here at home and creating content for YouTube, I use this camera and it works like a charm. I absolutely love it. But I will say the selfie camera on the inside, I don't really like. It's very pixelated, but you really don't use this camera, especially me personally, whenever you can just use the front camera and point it at yourself and boom, you got a selfie. So the camera quality on this is good. It's not amazing, it's not gonna wow you, but it's good for what it is. So the next thing I want to talk about with this phone has to be the durability. I don't really put a case on it because if I do end up putting a case on it, it is just too thick for me to put in my pocket. So I'd rather not rock it with a case and see how it is long term without the case. The back did get pretty scratched up. I mean, it's not extremely terrible, but you can see some scratches. I think it's because of that gloss finish. The sides look okay. I have a couple dings right here in the corner. I have dropped it a couple times. We're all human. We drop our phones. If you don't drop your phone, let me know in the comment down below because I think you're a liar. It's only a couple scuffs on the side. The cameras are still intact. The inside still looks perfect. So long-term durability, it works really good. The hinge still works perfectly fine, and on top of that, the crease isn't like broken or ripped or anything like that. I have seen people who have other flips and the inside crease is just like demolished. Mine still looks perfect, it's still intact and looks beautiful, but after 2, 3, maybe even 4 years, not sure how it's gonna be. But so far, it works good and it's very durable. Now, the next thing I want to talk about when it comes to this phone has to do with the Android system. So if you already have an Android phone right now and it's a little newer and you have all these features, you can go ahead and skip this part. But if you're somebody who uses an Apple phone right now and you're thinking of switching and getting the flip, I say do it, but here are some features that might kind of win you over because these are features that I utilize on a day-to-day basis. One of the main features I've been using has to be the AI search. So what you can do is actually just tap on this bottom part right here and then circle whatever image you want to see. Maybe you want to see how much it is or where it's at, and then it pulls up everything on the internet, the website, where it's at, and this is just a very convenient feature that I use a lot, like a lot. On top of that, when it comes to AI, if you can see my screensaver right here, this was actually generated using AI. So let's say you do want to change your wallpaper, you just go to the wallpaper app, go to wallpaper and style, change wallpapers, and then it's gonna have this creative tab right here. Click on that and AI will generate multiple things. So let's say, for example, you want to do a painting, click on that, and a painting of a jungle, and we'll do robots, and we'll generate that and see what brings up. And it's gonna bring us a lot of options too. It takes a little while. So as you can see, we have this one right here, this one, and then I'll do it again so you can kind of see. But it'll bring you pictures of anything, and you could switch this to whatever you want. So the AI features when it comes to this phone are by far crazy. Oh, and another thing is whenever it comes to video calling, yes, we don't have FaceTime, but there is Google Meet, and that still works really well. And especially with the cover screen being the camera, all you have to do is hold it like this, and then that's your FaceTime. I mean, Google Meet. Anyways, majority of the features that Android has to offer are amazing and I love it. And if you are coming from iPhone, yes, you can customize your widgets and do whatever you want. You can customize this phone however you want to. But after a year, do I regret my choice on getting this phone? Absolutely not. I love this phone. It's very innovative. I love what Samsung has done with it. And if you're on the fence about getting it, I just say go ahead and get it because it works really good and it still is holding up very well. But anyways, that is my 1 year experience with the Z Flip 5. It has been really good, except for a couple of those cons I mentioned at the beginning, but the pros definitely outweigh the cons, and I absolutely love this phone still to this day. Now, will I be switching? Probably, because I do want a bigger battery and a camera that is a lot better. I gotta make sure the content is great for you guys. Anyways, if you have this phone and your experience was different than mine, let me know down in the comments below. Anyways, oh, also, if you have any questions or anything like that, let me know down there too. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.